Good day, this is Kent Miles from Illinois Willows. We are a specialty cut flower grower here located in East Central Illinois. And today, not flowers, but we're going to talk about ginger. So we've been growing ginger, this is our third year, and this is the plants here. And we're going to harvest the rootstock. That's the ginger that you would eat or drink in hot teas, stir fry. A lot of different culinary purposes for it. And we have some friends that would like to join us here, the chickens. So what I'm doing is I've got these tubs and we're soaking the plants to basically, it's going to be a couple processes of cleaning them. And so this is one plant here. And so we're going to take off more soil. So our ginger is different than what you'd find in the supermarket. This plant came from this. And this was planted in early summer. This is the rootstock that we get in. Our ginger comes from Hawaii and it's from an organic grower. So we'll just do a little bit of a dunk to get as much soil off as we can. And that will expose the ginger. Now, after we've cleaned off the majority of the soil, we're going to do a couple rinses and try to get as much more of the soil off. So that'll just make the final stage of cleaning that much easier. So now, after we've rinsed it off with a hose, we're coming over here and we've got this tub with water, and so it's getting a soak to try to get off a little bit more of the soil. And now we're going to go ahead and clean it. And in cleaning, we're taking off the larger roots, and then there's a lot of these little hair roots which will just pop off. We'll give it another dunk to see if we can get some more of the soil that's loose cleaned off. And so we're at this stage now. So now what we do is we just trim back the top of the plant. So this part of the plant is edible. You can just pop the leaves off, and then it will have just the stem. And the stem can be used almost like similar to like a green onion, where you just chop up whatever amount you want. So the fresh ginger, like I might have mentioned before, is going to be a little bit stronger than the brown skin that you see in the supermarkets. And so you don't need as much. Our ginger that you might pick up at the Tuesday market, or you might pick it up at one of our supermarkets that carries it. We kind of do like what's called a farm clean, but like any produce, you want to just kind of give it a once over and see if you need to, run it under the faucet or take a little brush to it. So you can use like this piece. And then the rest of it, you can put it in a freezer bag and just keep it in the freezer. If you're going to use it short term, it stays nice in a refrigerator for 1 to 2 weeks. Otherwise, just go ahead and pop it in the freezer and then take out what you need and just pop off another section for the next time you're cooking. Thanks for joining us today at Illinois Willows. I hope you learned a little bit more about ginger and how it's grown and maybe some uses in the kitchen. And we're going to toss it over to Natalie, and she's going to show us a recipe in using fresh ginger.
Hi, I'm Cece. This is my sister Sophia and our mom Natalie. And today we'll be making
apple ginger pancakes with Winesdale apples and Illinois Willows ginger. You'll also need butter, all-purpose flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, milk, eggs, and vanilla.
So girls, to begin, I think we should
Wash our hands.
wash our hands. All right, let's do that. All right, ladies, now that our hands are nice and clean, let's start the recipe by peeling some apples and getting our ginger ready.
Yes.
So do you want to start by peeling an apple, Cece? So how much apple do we need, Sophia?
We are going to be needing 1 cup of diced apple.
All right. So Cece's using a peeler for her apple.
But if you don't have a peeler, you could also use a paring knife.
And you just have to be very careful. This might be something that, maybe a mom or dad or a parent or guardian can help with, or maybe an older brother or sister.
Yes.
And do you know what it means to dice?
Yeah, cut it into very small pieces.
Tiny pieces.
Tiny pieces. All right.
Very tiny bite-sized pieces.
I hear more chomping than I hear cutting. We're never gonna make it to a cup. I'm glad we have extras. So maybe a note for this recipe is buy a few extras.
Because you're gonna want to eat it.
You're gonna want to eat it. But you'll definitely have enough in your kids' kit to get you through the recipe. So while Soph finishes up cutting this, the next part is we're gonna put this into a saute pan with 3 tablespoons of butter. So that's about a cup, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice job. All right, can you saute that for us? For the ginger, we need 1.5 teaspoons of minced ginger. Mince it, so tiny little pieces, okay?
I'm gonna get the rest of this off. real quick.
Careful with those fingers.
Yep. So I just toss it in there.
So in the large bowl, you're gonna need 1.5 cups of milk.
So,
We're gonna crack 2 eggs in there.
oh, can I do it? I'm good at cracking eggs.
You are good at cracking eggs. And then there's one more wet ingredient we need, and it is vanilla.
Vanilla.
Yes. Sophia's up with the dry ingredients.
Now we're gonna do dry ingredients. Your dry ingredients are going to be sugar, all-purpose flour, salt, and baking powder. And we're just going to whisk this all together, make sure it's all combined.
So the next step is to combine the wet and the dry, but there's one special note that you don't want to over mix it once you put the wet and the
If
dry
I overmix
together.
it, won't it get dense?
It might get dense or kind of rubbery tasting.
Yes.
All right, careful, the pan might be hot.
Yes.
Oh, that looks so good.
So now that we have the apples and the ginger and our wet and dry ingredients all mixed together, guess what time it is?
Cooking time.
Time to make the pancakes.
It's ready, Mom. And
You got it, you got it, you got it. Ooh,
I did it!
nice job.
Might want to flat. Just put these on there. And then
Perfect.
now the next one.
thanks for joining us as we made our kid kit.
And see you next month.